Hi, my name's host Eric. I'm host Talking with Famous People, and I am here with Courtney. Famous person Courtney is from the Raw channel room where I met her of late, and she came in and we've talked about a number of different things. I was struck as I rambled on at maximum light speed about my complicated metaphysics that, despite the fact that I was going with no regard for the listener in general, and despite the fact that almost everybody is it takes them a long time. It takes them multiple occasions to really process all that stuff because it's complicated. Courtney follow along, no problem, asking exactly the right questions every step of the way. I was quite struck by it, simply because it's uncommon. And I have talked to her on a number of occasions. I thought it would be great if she made a video for the channel representing the female INTP perspective. She's an INTP. I've had a number of INTPs. I've talked to a number of INTPs. They're one of the types that is likely to participate in the channel, along with INFJs and other INTPs. And there's some mix of other types, but those are the majority of the types. Anyway, a long intro to talk to Courtney here. She has reservations about doing this. She suddenly got nervous after being totally relaxed talking with me the last few days. All of a sudden, she's nervous because we're in this room. Can you tell us why? Tell us a little bit about that experience of feeling this is different.
Being the center of attention,
Are you
having
unaccustomed to that?
one,
Are
huh?
you unaccustomed to being the center of attention?
I don't put myself in that situation.
Do you feel comfortable with it, but you want it infrequently, or uncomfortable with it as a general matter of course?
Generally uncomfortable.
Okay. And what makes you uncomfortable with it?
I like to be more of the observer, put my input in here and there.
It seems to be a, a, a natural state of affairs that the INTP with TI as their dominant function is going to want to have more clear judgment about what's going to happen than an ENTP who's happy to roll and see how it plays out as it plays out. Um, but I've also experienced this phenomenon where if you can get an INTP to do something, they generally discover that they're naturally quite good at it and that it flows smoothly and easily enough once they give themselves a shot to endure a little risk. Do you find in your life that you are risk averse in general?
I like to go with, yeah, I don't like risky situations. I would prefer knowing the outcome as much as possible.
One way that people identify NTPs sometimes is by body behaviors. So, like for example, you're doing something I do a lot too, which is I tend to do a lot of this wiggle around stuff, right? Often when I'm making videos, I find myself doing this, which other people have said, "Will you stop doing that?" to me on a few occasions. So occasionally, I try to be a little bit more aware of it. But we're notoriously poorly postured people. Do you find yourself not very aware of your body positioning and posture when you're speaking?
I don't even think about that.
I would call
So
that not
yeah.
very aware. Yeah.
I
Okay.
think are a little bit less expressive, maybe with their,
With them, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think they might be a little bit less expressive with their meow as well. You used to have a job, you said briefly, where you were doing some sort of thing from 8 to 5 that you didn't like. Is that right?
Mm-mm.
And how long did you do that for?
Uh, about a year and a half.
By the end of it, I mean, did you tell me the? This is me anticipating what the middle process must be like, and you explain to me if it was correct, where it's correct, where it's incorrect. That at first you're excited because you're doing maybe the first serious career type job of your life. Second, you're panicked because you despise it. Third, you're very emotional, like it's kind of sad because you feel locked into it. Fourth, you start to allow yourself to consider that maybe you're not locked into it. Maybe you actually don't have to keep doing this. And then finally, you realize, I'm going to quit pretty soon, or eventually, and you start fucking around. And then eventually, before you start fucking around too much, you just quit.
I just quit.
You didn't do the fucking around part.
I decided I wanted to go a different route. It's too scheduled and it's not free. It's like too scheduled. You don't have any time to make yours, really. You can't make it yours. This is it.
So there's not much creative opportunity. It doesn't offer you a lot of creative or freedom. Do you feel like you're contributing to something of value when you're working there?
It was a structural engineering firm. So I tried to think about it that way. That I was contributing to the company's productivity and bettering.
Engineering some structures, y'all. You said you were engineering some structures.
I wasn't an engineer. I was like an assistant to them. I was in engineering school, but I changed my major now.
And
so that I have more freedom.
Right. I heard you mentioning something about nursing of some sort, or going into some sort of medical thing.
I want to do nursing because of the flexibility in the scheduling, and I want to go into psychiatric nursing because I find illnesses of the mind really interesting. And I like how you can make it your own thing. You can do travel nursing if you want. You can do all different fields. So if it gets boring, I tend to get bored like fast. So if it gets like boring after a year or two, I can go into a different kind of nursing field, which would be a completely new experience in a way. That's what I rationalize it as. And it's good money. And it's flexible, and it's in high demand, so there's not very much risk involved. And, you know,
how much more school do you have to complete?
I feel that I would be helping people, and that is also good.
How much more?
I have the prerequisites all finished. I just have to do the 2-year program.
I see. Interesting. I'm going to stop this video and let's do a second video now on a slightly different topic, which is about video making.